Hello everyone and welcome back to Black Cats TV. Just me for the preview at this point. Mike is not very well. He's got COVID at the moment, so he couldn't be here to do this at the moment. So it's just me. He has given me his outlandish score prediction again, because you know Mike, he always loves to think we're going to get about 7 or 8 goals, but you'll have to wait till the end of the video to see where predictions are and see who's currently on our leaderboard. Just before we get into it, do please like this video. It really does help us out, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Really does help us out here. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Cardiff. So Cardiff at home on Saturday, 3 o'clock. They keep coming thick and fast, the games in this league. I mean, Cardiff, what, 1 place above the bottom 3, 5 points ahead of Luton, 6 ahead of Plymouth, and 7 ahead of Derby. They're tied on points with Stoke City, Hull City, and 2 behind Oxford. So for Cardiff, everything to play for. If you remember back, first game of the season, we played at Cardiff. I don't know what their stadium's called. But was it Ninian Park back in the day? I don't know if it still is now. But yeah, we both lined up as like a 4-2-3-1 back in the day. If we have our lineup back from the opening day of the season, which was Patterson in goal, Hume, O'Nien, Elise, Sirkin. You had Brown and Neil as our 2 holding midfielders. Across the 3, you had Clark, Bellingham and Roberts, and Mayenda up top. So no Isidore at this point here. Things that I remember from that game, I think we had a good few saves from Patterson as well. Simple catches, but just parrying things away. There wasn't really much threat from Cardiff. Obviously, we got a nice early-ish goal with Luke O'Nien with a header from I think it was a Roberts free kick swung across. Sirkin headed it back across, and O'Nien with a header. Very similar to his Watford goal, where he snuck back in at the sort of opposite post when someone played it back across for him. So he's got a habit of doing that. And then, of course, Clark wrapped it up for us just a minute from the end in one of his final games for us, or the final away game for us anyway. But so we came out that one, obviously, absolutely flying. We don't normally win on the opening day of the season, but there we had it. We beat Cardiff at Cardiff earlier on. So how have we fared since then? Or how have we fared against them previously? I'll go into that first. So looking back, you'd think we had a decent record against Cardiff, but at the Stadium of Light, we haven't beaten them in over a decade at Stadium of Light. And the last time we won, when Connor Wickham scored 2, Barini got a penalty and Giancarini scored as well. So over a decade since we've managed to beat Cardiff on home soil. Granted, there hasn't been many games between the 2 teams there at the Stadium of Light. I think we've played them, if I count here, since then 1, 2, 3 times since then. We're losing all 3. But since then, if we're talking away, we've played them 1, 2, 3, 4, won 3 out of 4. So we tend to like travelling down to Wales, but maybe not let them travel up here anyway. But let's have a look at how Cardiff have been getting on recently. So probably we already know that on Tuesday just gone, they lost to Burnley at Cardiff's ground as well, so didn't do us any favours there, and Burnley are now 6 points ahead of us at this time. They recently beat Hull, which something we couldn't manage recently as well. Drew with Plymouth, same as us. Bristol City at home, they drew 1-1, same as us. They lost to Portsmouth, and of course they got absolutely smashed by Leeds on their February 1st. They will be 7-0. And then looking back a bit further into January, they lost to Sheffield United as well. So a bit of a mixed bag of results for them. Obviously losing against the teams higher up, so you'd like to think that's a good omen for us to try and get 3 points over them and just keep ourselves ticking over, which is the best thing we can do, is not focus on other teams at this point, because every time we've tried to look at catching teams above us, I think it's always when we've slipped. So we really need to just focus on our own game and just make sure we do our job on the day. That's probably the best way for us there. Looking at Cardiff's team or players or whoever their danger men are, we have Callum Robinson is got 12 goals this season for them, as well as 1 assist. So obviously he'll be up there as well. Ruben Colwill, 4 assists and 1 goal. And then they have Josef Seleche, I believe, is next one on 4 goals. So after Robinson, it sort of tails off a bit there. Whereas if you say, look at our team, there is a drop-off from Isidore, who's on 12 goals, of course, but then it drops to Mayenda on 6, Job on 4, Rig on 4, Mundell on 4. However, when you look at our assists, you've got Trey Hume on 6, Patrick Roberts still on 5, been on 5 for a long time. Mayenda's on 5 as well, Neil down to 3, Job down to 3. So if we were thinking about how we're going to line up, and we've been having a talk about this recently, me and Mike, I think Mayenda has to start, and I know I say that quite often, but he's proving week in, week out that he can score goals, he can set up goals as well, so I don't see how he's not in the team. We've been screaming out that Rig needed a rest, so I think this is your opportunity to play Mayenda in behind Isidore as part of the sort of the front three behind the striker if he doesn't want to change his system too much, Labrie, because at least then in transitions you can play as, a block of 5 if you want to. If you want to play out, you can still have a bit more of a reserved break, or you could absolutely go for it in the 2 up top, which is unlike him. But the option's there. Mayenda can play that sort of role and has been doing quite well recently. If we were looking into potential lineups for the Cardiff game, I think we couldn't go wrong from keeping a very similar lineup to what happened at Sheffield Wednesday. I think if we were going to make one change, looking at this team, we had Patterson, Hume, Meppen, 09 and Hjelde. Then you had Brown, Neil. Then you had Roberts, Bellingham, Mundle and Mayenda. I think for me, you would probably do something where if Brown was to drop out, you would slide Bellingham back, move Mayenda back into the sort of number 10 second striker role, and you'd bring Isidore back in. I don't really see the need to rush Chris Rigg back into the starting lineup. I think if he's having a rest, let's just keep it that way as well. I don't think did he make the bench against Sheffield Wednesday? Possibly not. It's been a long time since then. A lot's gone on since that game. So I think for me, like I've said, Mayenda has to play. He's contributing every single game. He's a threat. And he's on a bit of a run. So why not let him just carry on? He's doing pretty well for us there. I do want to see if it's all right with everyone. Can you get your predictions in our comments on this one? I'm not sure if there'll be a live stream ready for Saturday. Obviously, Mike's not very well and I'm not available on Saturday. So hopefully there'll be a live stream for you on the channel so that we can see it and get the live stream comments in as well. But if not, please get your comments in on this video. Looking at our leaderboard so far, we have Gwen Hartley and Kai Young, who had the predictions right for 2-0 against Luton. But from the Sheffield Wednesday game, there was actually 5 people who got it right. We had Alex Dixon, Lee, Coffee Goblin, Brian Scotiamacca, and annoyingly Mike got it right as well with 2-1. So, yeah, he's ahead of me at the moment, which is just what I wanted. So, Mike has gone for, as he's messaged me, he's gone for 3-1 win against Cardiff this weekend. So, I mean, we take it, but I don't want Mike to get any further points ahead of us there. I'm going to go a repeat of the opening day. I'm going to go 2-0 to Sunderland. We just need to do our job and just move on. A few little, if he wants to, Labrie, like he did in the other week, he can mix up the lineup a bit now because I think we're all pretty understanding that we're safely in the playoffs at this time. So that's where we're going to go. So why not try new things at the moment? Test players out, try new tactics if you want to. New system can't hurt at this point if we're going to do it. So let me know your predictions in the comments as well. And I think that about wraps it up for the show. So yeah, keep an eye out on the channel just in case we do have a live stream available this Saturday. But if not, then we will see you on our next video. Take care now. Bye-bye.